Welcome, Cryptopocalyptics.
Welcome to the pit.
Are we going short?
Ladies and gentlemen, sorry for the delay. My 30 computers here that are mining are acting up again. Do not multitask. Tonto says. But then, what do we need all this technology for, if not multitasking? This chat today is open only to subscribers. So if you guys have something to say, you know what to do. Nothing important. This is a continuation from our Discord sessions, and we have a small, tiny situation here on the charts. Now, for those of you who were in the Discord yesterday, let's go over the trade setup that we were looking at. So remember, 61,600 was looking like an entry point. Then I felt weird. And so we called it off and we said, cancel the trade setup. But then the session rolled on and we continued. We talked about measurements. No, not those kind of measurements. We talked about destination. We talked about a train station where you would be out of the trade if we were to hit the low. And we sized how long, what was the contract size? Do you remember? It was 10K. Now we moved up, we moved down, and I was deep asleep. My stop was right here. We had an additional ladder set up down here for 0.9 1x leverage total, and 61K was a 3x position. All right, that was the I wouldn't say it was a call. It was a call, but we were very cautious, and we, do I regret not sticking with it? Absolutely not, because I trust my feels, and if there's something that I see on the charts that doesn't make 100% sense, then I'd rather you be safe. I'd rather you be safe, my friends. But here we are, and we had a little pullback. We stopped there for a second, right? And let me tell you, when I took my kid to school early this morning, so 10 hours passed since the call, right? So I had a good night's sleep. And then I saw these little pyramids here. And so I added to the position. Now, if we do the calculations here using the risk pane, okay, we'll get to that in a second. But you would see that basically what we were dealing with here was a target of $275 profit to the target point of 64K. Now, this resulted in a little slightly over that because I added to the position on the pyramid. That was a jackrabbit setup. And the reason I did that is because as we were trading here, as this was moving about, the CPR opened here, and then we came and retested it with a pyramid on it, and this momentum was curving up. And so I was strictly looking at 1 hour, and 1 hour was looking like it was about to turn. So long story short, again, it comes down to surviving this volatility. And if you had held on to your position from here, still okay. So directionally, it's one of those situations where you're right in your analysis, but then you punk out for whatever reason. Then you want to get back in, playing on the safe side, and I think we're doing a phenomenal job at preventing FOMO and at the same time sort of tiptoeing our way around these price levels. Now, we had a criteria yesterday, and that is to breach 35K decisively. Now, let's take a look if that is the definition of decisiveness right here. So we have extreme volume that came in on this pump. It punctured through our channel that we had set up earlier. Let me go back to over here and show you the thickness of the range that we were trading. We have established that between the purple and the orange was our range. Now we have a breakout, and so this calls for a long. I do think that we will have a little tiny pullback into tomorrow, and I will show you how we're playing this, okay, how we're gonna play this. So you guys are looking at a channel here that is there's one more point of clearance. Right now, as you can see on DSR, we're slamming into R1 and it's a point of resistance, right? Even though we ran that 63 level as we wanted, we are at target already. We hit 64K, and that was our sort of top wait and see situation. So last night's trade setup, a very precise risk managed, a proper setup, an example of what you should be like as a trader in this world, an example of how you should trade was that you would go 0.1 up to 0.3x in this region with a stop loss right here, counting on a ladder. If we were to fall lower, you would add more and ultimately target 64K. Now, we looked at the risk to reward ratio, did we not? What did it say? It had around 1 to 2, and then it dropped down as we kept creeping down here. It went to 1.25, 1-to-1 risk to reward. However, at these levels over here, later on, when we had a couple of our signals, there was a clear entry on MarketSpy, not even us speculating, just a clear signal on MarketSpy into the daily CPR and weekly as well. And so that gave you a bigger risk to reward ratio because now your stop is still here, your entry is now here, and your long to target area from something like this. All right, so that went up to 2 risk to reward ratio, roughly. All right, so maybe you use the chaser to accumulate, I don't know. Maybe you skip this trade, which is also, no worries, because we still need a confirmation. We're not out of the woods yet. And this pump is basically, there's one more hurdle to overcome. Now, I believe that if we trend higher than the CPR, which I believe we will, we'll have an ultimate breakout above 64 over here, have a tiny little pullback, and then continue moving in the direction like so. And this corresponds to, first of all, let's review a little bit. This is the original channel. As more information becomes available, Radosh, credit to him, okay, one of our traders, Radosh, he together with Sykes, they have identified this as a pennant breakout long before you saw this price action here. So he was calling for a breakout and a retest, and based on that, we started planning a trade, but I wasn't too sure about it. So played it on the safe side, and we said that, don't FOMO in. We need to break out from this orange line, go above it with volume. Okay, we did have some volume here. Now there's a different pattern. But let's consider that this was a pennant breakout, right? And if that's the case, the wider base over here on the retest is so usually we go half the distance right here, pull back. and then we're yet to come to the top. Now I think this breakout here, right, from the pennant, reaches the target over here, gives us a little pullback, and then what happens is that now you can have more price information to work with overall, and you're looking at a broader channel like this. And the bottom of it was to buy here. So Radosh, the pennant that he called, along with Sykes, right? Amazing, willing, active traders that are very risk conscious. For the most part, unless they're trading Chiba coin, right? So we have this channel, okay? Now the target is to here. Like this is going to continue creeping up to 65.97, all right? Most likely, and then it's going to give us a little pullback, perhaps down to the orange line. That would be HC if we make it all the way up to here, or to the upper channel, much like we did like over here and later on over here. There's going to be some sort of a little pull-off period, pullback, and I think that's what we're looking for the next trade. So far so good. We have been tracking this pretty well. Volatility is a little out of hand and a bit tough to manage, but it's okay. It's okay. Sizing and everything that you have learned so far on this channel came in handy, and it's saved your butt many a times already. I know this for a fact. And so calculating risk to reward properly like this, you know, we attained our typical goal of reaching the daily target for this account, which I hope is something that you can compare against and, you know, sort of work your way from there. So, you know, 0.05 Satoshis for this kind of almost risk-free trade is pretty good. And we signed up to lose around $450 if the stop loss was to get hit on a continuation ladder, because we would be adding more and more contracts on the way down. And even though the stop loss would have been very tight, we'd still hit it and lose that much. But we signed the agreement between ourselves and Bybit and said, yeah, we agreed to lose that much. And at this region, I only wanted to give up maybe a maximum of the daily gain, which yesterday was about $88. The percentage here was 0.1 or thereabouts. So, and just like that, that's a magical trade setup that is not out of this world where you're, you know, going parabolic, making millions, but you're playing it very, very safely, and you're still capturing these candles and are being rewarded handsomely. Now, when there's a high level, you know, high level of trading activity going on, where you have an uptrend that's a bit more sustained, like something over here, right? This kind of price action, you can be a bit more confident, but we had to come out of this channel. Now we have a clear breakout of this channel. I want to repeat myself. We have a clear breakout of this channel, and yeah, any dip. Now with Bybit Pro, you have a new feature called Market Maker over here. We're gonna go over that in a second. And by the way, there's a giveaway that's in progress right now. Actually, let's update the description down below, because this could change people's lives if they stumble upon it, and if they find our tools, systems that we use, education. This could really turn their trading around. So let's share it. I don't don't know if I'm illiterate. I don't know how to use Twitter. Copy, link, tweet. Okay, let's see. All right, there we go. Do not miss out on the giveaway, guys, because that could be a life-changing experience, trust me. If you're good, if you're really, really good, you're still missing out. You still are being crippled by the exchange and the way you trade, whatever the tool is. Bybit Pro. So yeah, it's good news. It's good news. We had some authority on this candle, right? We had a very strict breakout over here, and now the remaining of this is. Point being is, I'm looking at a couple of things. All right. So first of all, this trade is in progress. All right. Now, for the market maker tab, for some of you guys. Hold on a second. Just crushed the trade with market maker. It's baller. It is. Clifton Lewis, it is. I hate Twitter, but I guess I need an account. I stay away from that noise and only listen to CR and Platoon. Honored to hear that, honored to serve. And honored to, not honored, humbled. It's a mix of both. Really appreciate it. Clifton Lewis says that from the heart. And all the comments on YouTube. You're a shining star. My friend, you truly are. And market maker is, just to give you an idea, right? So we're ranging over here, right? And let's say you wanted to go to like 1 hour. $500 range. Let's measure this up real quick. So, I feel like if I say this, you guys who are watching this right now are part of the Platoon, part of the Discord. But if new people are coming in here, just blinking, staring to the depth of the pit, wondering what is going on. Let's put it this way. We have been trading on autopilot for the better half of this year already. So, as we move forward, your TA will not matter as much. Directionally, if you can identify a solid setup on MarketSpy, boom, activate one of these things. This is the robot, the bot killer. It's not a single automated trading system that can compete with this. It works when you're awake. All right. It's not I go to sleep and I let it run, let it do its thing. That's a fantasy. But if you're sitting in front of the computer, in front of your screen, I guarantee you're seeing just profitable trades every other second, every other minute. So it becomes a matter of not trading at a specific. This annihilates all the trading groups, all the legacy ways of sharing your setups, all the risk to reward ratio calculations. Because if you see a setup, you can really manage your trade and automate it in a way where you click a button and it just starts buying and selling, buying and selling, buying and selling, buying and selling. For market maker users right now, I do not recommend you use place sell orders. It's a single direction trade right now where any pullback, you're buying it and selling it. So to demonstrate on 1 hour, let's add this right here is your leverage, 0.7 overall. What is going to happen now is this thing will start buying and selling. So directionally, if you're aware of that, consider any one of these ranges. With market maker now, think of it as a souped up chaser that, man, there's so many possibilities. I don't even know where to start. We're gonna run you through some tutorials and educational content within Discord, but all I can say right now is that you click it and it just works. All right. Now, let's say you wanted to make trading your full-time job, right? And you've gotten good with your system, be it MarketSpy or anything else. And you have developed a very rigid, strict set of rules that will protect you in times of uncertainty, like yesterday. Everything is well calculated. You're paying attention to risk and risk only and nothing else, not price action, not what it looks like, nothing. And you're listening to your logic where you know what goes up must come down. Little basic things like that you already know. Everyone's running around preaching the same damn thing over and over again. You guys already know that. You didn't start trading yesterday, right? But now you can soup up your game. You can really step it up to the point where you can work on your Excel sheets. You can work on your Microsoft Teams, chatting with those assholes across the table, right? Do your work, and you can run this thing and just let it go. Let it go with the flow, buying in the direction. So once you have, overlay this with a bunch of signals over here, and you're zoomed in and you're looking at this and you're like, something's going on. You have momentum curve going up. Now, is it enough? I don't know. We need to confirm it. Do we have a Max 7 set up? As a matter of fact, we did. 15-minute time frame. And you have these pyramids just like into the daily CPR open. All right. Now, you have your candle that's turned green. It goes up. And so for the duration of this whole range, you can run market maker and it will buy and sell, buy and sell, buy and sell. And you have your parameters here. Play with this, exercise caution, but make the first start, your take profit basically the biggest. So 10 points, 90% out, keep the 10 runner. That's just a template. It doesn't mean anything, but simply put, you adjust this system based on volatility and ATR, based on what's going on in the charts. And your only job is to maintain it. Make sure that the steam whistle choo-choo train is working, is operational, and is not doing anything weird. As soon as you see something that's a little off, whatever it is that you're using that tells you that, you can stop this thing, step back a little bit. Your position, you do 100 of these tiny little trades a day, and I guarantee you're going to accumulate at least 0.1 of your account, as long as you know directionally that is what you're doing. Not randomly sell and buy at the same time, but buying into the direction, right? And we are anticipating this, and it looks like this might actually hold here. We went above 43, and now we're way above that. We're at 64. So yeah, this is what I was talking about yesterday. If we break above it, you should be long on this, right? Now for me, what's happening here? So every time you take a trade, you're risking, right? It's just a direct risk response, right? Yesterday's setup over here, and a little earlier on when I added a tiny little bit 0.33x on the Jackrabbit, this was enough, all right? And today I can make more. For example, if this is your account, picture this, right? You can make more, but why? Why? The plan is, wait for this to break out. Wait for phase 2 is to retest, all right? So we're gonna see how it reacts at these levels when it retests. But you're going with the strength of the momentum here, and you're buying into it using the new tools that are available at your disposal, market maker, the upgraded chaser with the your tagger over here, right? The tagger is amazing. And now the chaser actually includes an automated cool-off timer where it will automatically rest every time price move by 5-minute ATR. It's built in, it's preset. You cannot mess with it, and it's sort of a mechanism to prevent over trading, basically. If chaser was a person, that 5-minute ATR would tell chill out for 5 minutes, wait a little bit. You're too tired. You've been buying too much, and you've been selling too much, and it's time to step back. So overtrading remains a threat, but we have that decision, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully you're trading this and you're long out there. I don't have to hold your hand, but yesterday's setup over here was basically turned around very quickly based on the long from the pyramids and a very powerful baseline reclaim where volume started to, you can't see it, but it started to pick up over here and actually peaked a tiny little bit over here above the 20 moving average on the volume bar. So that's a good sign. And we just made the whole Fibonacci range here. So you're chasing here. You're chasing price action, but you're not looking for a precise entry and exit because things can and most likely will get a little crazy. But not a breakout point yet. Not a breakout 100% break. It is. What am I saying? It is a breakout. I'm saying not a retest for your entry, for the second entry. So if we range here for a bit, sure, you're looking to get in, but pay attention to like this particular pattern right here, where we may not have that retest, and you're looking to make target right here. Credit goes to Radosh as well as Sykes for pointing out that we had a pennant breakout, and this whole messed up range here was merely a retest, shaking people out before going up. And we had slight suspicions of why would a volatile candle like this occur, and then the only answer was either it's predicting of what is going to happen in the future, so we dump, or it is going to it's actually shaking out people easy long. So anybody who entered here, man, what an entry, what an entry. But nobody did. You know why? Because they got stopped out. And this retraced, we saw it live together. This retraced so fast that your entry now is here. So risk to reward is super screwed up, right? And any stop in this region here, you got taken out, and this left without any passengers on board, pretty much. Unless you calculated your risk to reward after a little compression, and we talked about how the moving averages were starting to really squeeze up here, and you wanted to really participate in this, you had to use the risk pane to calculate the percentage on this move, and you would have been good. So my understanding is that we are clearing the target, and a new pattern emerges where not only do we have a breakout and the next pullback on your 4-hour time frame is a long, but we also are seemingly now are creating this pattern here, which away from like this point where we are right now, we're looking at an extension into the new all-time high. We see it now. It wasn't available before, but it is available now. And our criteria was very, very simple here. It's to cross over with authority above the 63K level. We needed to have that piercing effect. Did we have it? I believe so. Today we witnessed that which was going to be an inevitable scenario here for Bitcoin. So people who, one thing is when you're feeling a little bearish, you're just saying, no, I won't buy now. Another thing is when you're feeling bearish and you're instantly acting on it and you're like, I'm short. I always preach, do not be quick to short Bitcoin, all right? Give us some space to breathe. Let us show you the way, trade along. Now, in this fashion right now, what Bitcoin is doing is it's telling you something, and it's telling you that we're having a breakout. A pennant retest and a continuation impulse, number one. A channel breakout, number two. A critical level clearance, number three. We're not out of the woods yet, but we're still there. And most importantly, the big boy, this channel. And if we clear this thing and attempt to go high one more time, we're setting new all-time highs. We already know that we are trading risk-free on a breakout up to the 75K level only. And we'll come back to the measurements of why that is, but we know that directionally, if this gets cleared and we have another leg up to here, the next pullback is our buy automatically. So, but with market maker now, you don't really have to wait for that. You can start casting ladders here. Just play with it. You know, don't FOMO in. It's not leaving without you. And even if it does, enjoy your valuation on Bitcoin. Enjoy it growing up. Only us USDT guys are kind of feeling left out and have all the right in the world to be salty, pretty salty about this price hike. But other than that, for Bitcoiners, you know, hodlers especially, rejoice and don't be so quick to jump in on every trade just because someone else is trading and you're seeing they're making money and you're not. Hold on to it. Right? Hold on to it for as long as you can. Weird things happen across markets, and Squid token, right, from $2,000 down to zero in a split second. I'm just saying, this thing is very liquid, so that's not likely to happen, but just never know. A 10K candle, absolutely possible. Satoshi decides to come back and take out a couple of thousand Bitcoins just for fun, you know, just to see what happens. And so you're always measured, you're always calculated, precise. We're on a mission for precision here. And sometimes last night, precision was missed. We saw that there was a potential rejection of this channel, and well played, Bitcoin, well played, my friend. But I'm not about to defy it and challenge it. I'm not about to, you know, say that I know exactly what Bitcoin is going to do. That is silly. But you know, once it's all over and you start seeing some emerging patterns of recovery, then you can play. And besides, if you have an entry and your stop is calculated, you sleep on it because you already agreed to lose that much anyways. And you also agreed to collect profit up to 64K last night, which ended up being like $275-ish, 170 on 0.1x, 270 with 0.3 or thereabouts. And so today was one of those days, right? And if you just happen to be around it, just go for it, right? But just because the trade setup is there, sometimes I was still not confident about any of it. So this is just market's decision. It's not, I don't take credit for any of these trades, nor do I take credit when a setup fails. And I don't take the blame because, well, the market shows us the way and it is king. But it is my job as a community leader here to set an example and also emphasize the point, which is to protect what you have, not here's a way how to get rich. Protect what you have and the rest will come slowly every day. We're yet to go in the negative below the standard 1% gang. Where are you? So this market maker right now is just going ballistic, right? Just buying and selling, buying and selling. And within tight ranges on Bitcoin is specifically, do not use buy and sell sides at the same time. So if you're buying and you're selling, you're not using two of them at the same time. You're using a single directional setup where your system tells you, your risk allowance tells you, and you have targets, go ahead, right? Use market maker directionally, one side only. Now, see, most of the time people are saying, I want to go and short 64K level because I feel like that's going to be the top. That's nonsense. If you don't have a setup, even if it means missing a spill the size of like $5,000 drop, you still need to have that confirmation that we're headed down before you initiate a short position, which you shouldn't do anyways. And the stops, we talk about this every day. But it's not like, if you get lucky right now and short this pump, that's all it is. But you don't want to be playing and trading luck. You want to be trading this instrument, and you want to do it with dignity, all right? So you can look back and say, I know exactly why this was, and it was a highly technical setup here, and so hence why I went short or why I went long. And again, just to, not to say that you can't, but if you were going to go short here, your stop is here. But we have price targets that are telling me we're going to run this level and we're going to take out your stops, okay, on this pump. So why go short every time there's a leg up, every time there's a leg down? That's not what market making is. So do not use two sides at the same time. And the main reason for that is because simply you don't have the capital. You don't have $50 million plus in your account. All right, fact, 50 million plus to be able to survive Bitcoin's HVOL implied volatility across in the span of about 3 months. You just don't have that ability to sit underwater for that long. So all that other stuff about, trading on feels, don't do it. Wait for the setup. Sometimes a short setup means you're not shorting here. You're waiting for the spill, another leg up, failure, and then capturing this one candle. That's your short. All right. That's not luck. 1,500 points. All right. This is a precise operation that you extract value out of. It's not just like, yeah, look at me. I have a position. I shorted over here. Ha ha ha. It's not a meme. It's your account and you're going to blow it up. You're going to bring it back to zero in no time. So please be very careful. When it starts to feel like the top, remember that it's only a feel, nothing else. And we don't trade feelings. We trade information, okay? And just because it looks like you're speculating, when you're feeling, you're speculating. Yesterday, I told you that this was a speculative trade setup, but we needed to turn it into a technical setup. And so we calculated the risk, we calculated the number of contracts, we calculated 64 as the take profit target, 63.51, 64 next. Stop loss at 59 and active management of that position below that. And voila, we have very positive results, even though it wasn't your classical technical, oh, I made a call and then I screwed it up and then it went up there anyways and then I was right, but then I punked out. It's not about that. It's about thinking, if I'm wrong here, how much do I stand to lose? Like, what's the worst that can happen here? So those are the kind of things that you must ask yourselves when, trading, when doing these kind of trade setups, because it's very important how we respond to risk and what we associate with it. So once you get wrecked, it becomes very difficult to come back from that. But a lot of you here on this channel, in the chats and in your daily discussions and your P&L wall, which, by the way, you guys are doing amazing. The P&L wall is just the kind of consistency that, it really makes me proud. It really makes me proud of what we have built here. And it's good to see birdies fly on their own, doing their own thing, surviving all this nonsense. Bitcoin could give you a couple of middle fingers along the way, but you still beat it. You're still beating the market. Not in terms of like, I have 1,000 return percentage per month, but more like you're winning by not losing and by preserving what you have. And that's just like so many traders would kill for that. So many traders in the world would just kill for that. You can just figure this one part out, how to achieve that stability. And you're golden. And Bybit Pro, MarketSpy, we have things to come. This is not today. Today was a little surprise announcement gift. And all you guys are gonna love the new features, and just don't give any of it back to the market, okay? Hold on to it, enjoy it, trade it, size it, use the calculator a lot, because it will mentally sharpen you to understand what it is that you're really trading. Bitcoin, what does it mean to trade it, right? So hold on to it. If you don't feel like trading for a month, 2, I salute you. Sometimes it's the right thing to do, especially if you have a slightly bigger account and you just need a trade or 2 on those types of accounts, if you're trading 1 mil above. But it's all good. We're happy. We're dancing. That's a funky tune. Hey, Tonto, why don't you pump it up a little bit?
Sure, senor.
Right. So back to the basics, right? Back to the basics we go. And 1% gang, 1% gang, let them laugh. Guys don't know what they're doing, what they want out of this life. This is not just a bull year. This is your year where you learn a lifetime skill that you can take with you to Alaska and make money, okay? Just make sure you have your dry powder available to you at all times, and don't ever pay bills with your trading. If it comes to that, until you're like way up there where it feels like a job and you don't really care about it anymore. So, ladies and gentlemen, Bybit Pro, MarketSpy, we have a lot of things lined up. The season of giving, and we're not even there yet. But by the end of the year, we'll have a whole range of goodies to just pump up your game. Altcoins, we're going to start dealing with it. Don't worry about the slow start. There's no alt season, remember that. For hodlers, maybe. For us traders, not really. But yeah, so what's up with Bitcoin? It has the right to go all the way back down to here, 62, 64. That's 63. We needed to pierce it. We don't have to stay literally above it. We needed to pierce it, all right, and show some prowess over there. And we went up as high as 64. So now we're most likely going to see a pullback. Just look at momentum here. There's a good chance that there's going to be a tiny little pullback, and you're buying it. You're buying it if that's the case. You're buying it right now with market maker. Now, when you're not sure about like what exact levels you're looking for, Bybit Pro is here to directionally do all the work for you. It's gonna trade it in the direction. Just tell it when to stop. Tell it to not oversize, and tell it to continuously buy and sell in the direction. And I'll sell. I'll tell you about my settings that you can use. Not this. This is a test setup, but you can use some pretty nifty take profit points that I have discovered. But many have shared theirs already, and they're all effective. It's just a matter of preference. And based on volatility, you're gonna have a few presets. I wish we could have names on them, but these presets will correspond to average ATR values throughout the week on daily. And if you set them up like so, you know, it takes it's like looking at one daily candle here and understanding what your range is to trade. But yeah, so far so good. And yeah, are we looking at an inverted head and shoulder here potentially at the top? I don't know. Hard to say, but momentum is supporting more upside potential for us. And the market's been very hungry. It's been waiting for this. Funding rates, again, let's talk about some weirdness, right? So yesterday, funding was, every time there's a candle, funding comes back, like massive longs open up. I still don't like it. I hate it. And every time we have two tiny little candles, literally two tiny little candles, anything that doesn't continuously go up, this tells me that the market is like in this expectancy mode where they think it's October, and well, what are they going to call November? I don't know. But they're expecting, like, you know, every pump. So it's very dangerous at the same time to have confidence in any one of these trade setups. As we're ranging at the top, okay? Not above it, not below it, at the top. We're ranging at the all-time high. So a little dangerous to assume things here, especially when you consider that, you know, one red candle resets funding back to 0.01 stable, and a market maker could run this up. Traders can push the price up a little higher. Boom, everyone's back on it, leveraged up. And this is not spot driven at this point right now. So derivatives get very excited very easily. And that's not really a good thing, because that to me just means any moment, CR. Any moment there's a nuke. It's just around the corner. I'm not saying it'll happen, but when you see this kind of behavior, it is only right to assume that that's the case. So as it runs up, you know, they'll start probably collecting all the longs, and it won't be long, no pun intended, before this whole setup turns into a good, profitable short for us. But it's not yet. It's not yet. We just picked up on this momentum today, and all the technical patterns are showing us that we had signs of a breakout low, finally a higher low, and now we know that that's exactly what it was. So more sideways consolidation here calls for a buy the dip towards these targets. Number one right here, and number two right here. Though we're not going here immediately, right? We're just gonna have to. So this will be a great opportunity over the next few days to go over the market maker and see what we can do with that. It's a lot different than Chaser. It may look like it's the same, but the applications of how you use Market Maker versus Chaser are different. Whereas Chaser, you don't use it at the top, always at the bottom on the long side. Market Maker, you can use it at the top and should near breakouts when there's lots of volatility, aggression in the market, and you're capturing all of that inside of a compressed range of a candle, buying and selling very fast with minimal delay, actually no delay, and you shouldn't get any API rate limit errors because it's more efficient than the Chaser. However, also more dangerous. So we'll walk over how to use it properly and what circumstances should you switch between the two. And of course, you still have your market access. If you're not sure about anything, pay the price for the convenience. Off you go. All of these other features require a little bit of work, passion, calculations, and just normal trading, right? But I don't really have a favorite right now here. All of them except market. So all have different applications and all give you an infinite variety of possibilities, how you can execute your trade with a sweet profitable directionality that you're looking in the markets. And this thing is just mind-blowing, right? So once you get that trigger on MarketSpy, boom, initiate, it starts working, it starts chugging along, collecting all there is to collect. Until you get the next signal, which looks a little bearish, you pause the little thing, manage your trade because the size is always consistently small, but the frequency at which it buys and sells constantly is superhuman abilities, right? No trader can afford that kind of luxury unless they're Bybit Pro users. But on their own, no way. They have to sit there long periods of time, scalping. This redefines the whole understanding of what scalping is and what swing trading is. It's just completely next generation alpha tools that are just, I believe will be the future. Now, more participants, as more people catch up with this, they'll understand that they've been living under a rock basically this whole time. So rejoice, for you have accepted something new. You went on an adventure and you gave it a try, and you will be rewarded down the road because this is what it's here for. And we're going to pass on as much as we can for as little and reasonable return on all this as we can. You know what I mean? Obviously, can't just like make it be available. Go ahead. Traders want to kill for this, right? But they don't have to. So get in on a MarketSpy Twitter campaign and try to get yourself an extended. I'm gonna have 3 winners for Bybit Pro later on. Closer to Cyber Monday, we're gonna run one for MarketSpy, and we have an update due to come out just around that time as well, all before New Year. New website, blog, and content that is going to be premium but available to all of you as part of our ecosystem here. So alts along the way and stuff like that. We'll continue to stress the points that we have made without the necessity to flex anything or talk about some random degenerate stuff about who look at me, look what I did, look what I can do. Because the whole space, I went on Twitter just now to promote that giveaway, and the amount of confidence that people have, you have to respect the market and know that we don't know. But people are like, yeah, I've been doing this for 20 years. I know exactly. No, you don't. No, you don't. So, breakout, happy times, happy trading days ahead. Unless this dumps all the way down to here right now, we're pretty safe. We have created a safety net in this region. Is this possible? Yes. Is a buy the dip? Yes. Is it going to give you that trade? Probably not. Too easy. Okay, too easy. Too much confidence, too much support. We're doing this. So focus on that. Focus on that.
Oh my God. I can't believe this. Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize. It seems that audio is my weak spot here. But I was just saying shout out to CryptoStar for his amazing video by the power of his own observation. He created a unique strategy that is super powerful. I have back tested it and traded myself every once in a while. 1 minute fans will kill for someone like that, and the win rate is insane. And using the new tools that are available to you in Bybit Pro, you can play his setups. This video is found on this channel. 1 minute scalp technique from CryptoStar, and also a link inside of our Discord. But you know, instead of using a stop loss like was described in his video, if you use Chaser with the right size and market maker now, then you can actually upsize your position a little bit as price falls lower, because it doesn't really, you know, if it hits your stop, that means it's going to reverse pretty soon. So you can accumulate a nice tight range using his methodology, and you can make very, very fast profitable trades, can make those gains quickly thanks to this community strategy. And we talked in chat about it, and you know, it's magical. It's magical. So make sure you check it out if you haven't already. It is CR approved, certified Cryptopocalypse Now strategy. All right. So I have fun with it, but now when it was developed, we didn't have the ability to use things like Chaser and Market Maker. Now we do. It just made it so much better. You'll know what I mean. Just give it a try. 1 minute chart. You guys who love 1 minute charts will love it even more now. Rediscover trading. This new stuff. Beautiful.
Ladies and gentlemen, last time, you brought us all the way up to 45 likes. And today, we have so much to give and so little to ask in return. Can we get more likes? Or do I have to act like Carl the Moon here and be like, come on guys, you're setting records. You're setting records, let's do this. We can do 4,000. I believe we can do 4,000 right now, guys. Right now, before I start this video. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much. But yeah. More thumbs. It's like coffee. To us YouTube. Oh my God. To us YouTubers. We're YouTubers now, guys. Oh man. Thank you for the likes. Views are dropping off. And that means we're approaching a very profitable trade setup announcement. And the Misors are signaling that event right now. All right, let's get into it. Thank you for the likes. For the likes. It was a small emergency. I'll be right back.
CR.
That's Tonto.
I think I may have identified what the issue is.
What kind of issue, Tonto? What are you talking about?
I think people want to see you trade like a degen.
It's a good point, Tonto. Should we attempt to do so right now?
Yes, CR. Sacrifice your daily gain for the entertainment of others. Join the ranks of other YouTubers and live a happy life.
I don't know, Tonto. You're not the smartest kid on the block, all right? But if we get 40 likes somehow, which is it's impossible because we got 18 viewers, then I'll go degen for a second. Yeah. A historical first. And I'll show you something real quick. But I'm afraid we don't have enough fuel.
I could send an army of bots to join your channel and click like, CR. Would you like me to do that?
No, Tonto. We're very organic here. Every single click, every single like is organic. We're not faking it, we're not promoting it. We like the numbers that we have because it's real, intelligent traders that we're dealing with here. You understand?
I do, CR. Good for you.
Good for you too, Tonto. Don't ever mention that again. Sending your army of bots. Give me 500,000 subscribers on my channel. 300 of them active. No thank you. We're good. We're few, but we're many. Because in the percentile of traders that are successful and are consistently profitable, we're many, even though we're few elsewhere. You know?
Right.
Yeah, so. All right, so let's now deep dive into a couple of things here. Number one. Ooh, Taratu. I like that spam. That's very smart. The spam thumb. You really want to see me get hurt, don't you? For you, yeah. So let's take a look. Bearish diversity. You kidding me? So a couple of things here. Good news is that we have the orb that is floating above candles now, right? Starting from drop down. Let's go to daily and take a look at the daily chart. So plenty of space here to go back down and then go back up, but ultimately these zones are very thin, so we may get a rejection here. It'll probably be wise to buy that rejection, all right, down to HC, potentially 62.5 we're talking about. And then one important aspect to pay attention to is the clamp, the goddamn clamp. Look, in order for us to, right now we just went edge to edge on this trade. Now we're above the CPR on the monthly. We're above the CPR on the weekly. It just started. It's only Wednesday, right? We had a mega pump, and to be sure that we can continue moving up, we need to cool off a little bit, come back down. This will push us lower, and then once we breach this baseline and the volatility starts to pick up, this line will start to go up. We're officially above all CPR levels, and we're looking for a trend continuation there. Now, based on this candle, the next setup should bring us to about here. Okay, here's the plus sign. Lines up pretty well with what we understand from the charts here. Was this a volume breakout? Notice on the daily that we didn't really post significant volume that breached the moving average on here. Now this volume is also a lagging indicator, okay? Especially the moving average. By the time that happens, it'll basically count this candle on the next candle. And so it's almost like it's a necessity here. We need to predict that that is going to be the case. On the next daily open, we'll pull back a little bit with most likely declining volume, and then we'll have another spike. Here, this setup here is a short area, short, and currently still short. However, we have the long-term trend flow looking healthy and the short-term trend flow about to go green. If it manages to go green above this, we'll have another impulse candle, and that is yet to come. We have a window here, a gap, and we've got about 7 hours to close it. In the next 7 hours, there's a good chance that we may retrace back down to that level. 1312, 1,300 points down, quick pickup and then up. But it's looking good. Dragon Skin here is still not confident. It's just, you know, we just had a little recovery. We might go a little higher, but that is not. Yeah, I don't let these candles excite me, is what I'm saying. And I recommend you remain skeptical at all times, even if that means skipping a trade because of it. 12-hour time frame, same as 15. We've got so we have a couple of bearish signals, but they're refusing to go lower as we're bouncing on the trend defying baseline here, baseline 3. And so far it's been a battle of so if you pay attention, we have EQ1, and then between this baseline and this baseline, EQ3. And so we have sellers, buyers, sellers, buyers, sellers. Unless we clear this level within the next 8 hours or so, then we should be okay. But until then, it remains a very, very risky trade setup, especially how funding just jumped on excitement of this pump. We don't really want to see that. Remind you that while we were moving up and every consecutive candle that we saw here, funding did not change at all. People were just watching, and now they're acting on every pump candle. So obviously when price is at an all-time high, it's extremely difficult to just trade something with high conviction. Hence why I think personally we performed here pretty well. All right, in this range, the gains are proportional to price action and the level we're at. So we completely skipped all the chopping here. We never wanted to go short on at any one of these levels because we didn't see too big of a downside potential here. But we did see that there could be a little retrace from these levels to the upside, and so that's what we're dealing with right now. Momentum on 6 hour and 8 was non-existent. Like this thing, right? You can't really call it and say, you know, now we resolved up, and if we go sideways a little bit, there should be more upside potential. So stick to these arrows over here, okay, for what it's worth. Now on the 8 hour, we have a baseline reclaim. That pullback would be a retest, and it's a pretty tight reclaim. It's not like so a bad reclaim is when you have let's say price action dump, and we have the baseline is right here, price moved here, and suddenly it goes and reclaims it, and you're like, yeah, baseline reclaim, only for it to fail and go lower, right? This is not a reclaim. The baseline was here. This is a reclaim, a pullback, and a continuation, right? That's a very nice convergence of baselines and price action. That's a very leading indicator of things to come. Here we're seeing the same. We were very close, tight, so we squeezed up above it. So this is a move that is telling us that it wants to continue moving higher on the premise of this breakout. That's one. So we closed multiple times below the purple line on lower time frames, right? Chopped through it mad amounts of time on 1 hour and lower. But ultimately on higher time frames, we're now seeing a little bit of confidence. It's just that the funding here is a little bit off the charts again, every single candle. But it's okay. It's just telling us that there's lots of interest here, and why would you not let it run? So it's a matter of time before spot starts selling, and it remains to be seen what levels they would be interested in. As of right now, let's remove price. We can see how we squeezed up, and it is likely to continue moving in this direction, okay? So this is what we've been waiting for. 4 hour time frame was a very easy setup on the baseline retest over here. Hourly confluence and momentum was lacking, so that may have put you off a little bit, but that's, you know, there's nothing we can do about that. And then yeah, we had a breakout point right here, and so a retest to close the window is almost necessary. So I'm looking to pick up 1,000 points from below, get in there, and I'm going to be, now that you all have access to these advanced tools, Market Maker is going to be your tool of how you're going to get in on this. All right, Your trade size can be up to 1x with frequent sells along the way. And we have downside potential that goes down to the CPR level right here. Very long and exhausting price action here, so this should hold. This here is support. If you turn on your VPVR, you're probably going to see the same thing I'm showing you here. But there's no need for that. You can eyeball it. You can VPVR the chart without using the actual thing, right? Just by looking at what the levels are, you can kind of see as you move along where those high traded levels are. So right now it's pretty much right here at 61,100, 61.5 thereabouts, right there. So yeah, have we cleared this level? One little candle. Is there volume? Yeah, both of them had pretty significant volume on 4 hours, like a follow-through volume. And like I said, it's going to most likely decline, give us some quiet. So while this quiet is what was I gonna say? Yeah, market maker, use this to trade the quiet area right here as it goes sideways, up and down, very tight sell range, and an expansive 4-hour buy range on a single direction over here, like so. These values, set it up to 4 take profit points. I would say at 20, 50, 80, and 150, and just run it through today and tomorrow. And you're going to generate a trade basically that's worth a single precise entry on an intraday chart with a very nicely calculated risk, number of contracts that defines the risk, and the same thing, right? So we have a little bit of that support going on here, and so you should take advantage of that. However, it'll start coming down. Is it a rejection? I don't know. Not likely. Do we have some resistance above? I don't see it. Back to 1 hour. So we had some support over here. If it goes back down below second flag here, right, you're looking at maybe a small retest. It's not only going to give you a trade over here, most likely down to here, and it's just going to continue moving up. And if it does so, and it'll create like a bearish pattern, don't fall for it, because this simply means that there are no sellers and just increasing demand above the breakout point. So it's not bearish at the start of the impulse to the upside. It'll print a bearish pattern, but it'll be a long play. It'll be a long play. So aim for that pullback whenever it comes. Base reclaim here after a little chop. It was very tricky here. But now we're authorized to potentially go a tiny bit higher in this pullback. Looks clean. Is there a diversion? Yeah, there is a diversion. So, yeah. Buying into, well, like EQ 2, 1, 2, and 3, they're all panned out right now. So this is a good point of entry. That makes sense? I think it does. It's a good point of entry. 62.5, 62.3. But instead of waiting for it, like I said, run your advanced tools and make sure your size starts to only increase at the bottom here. And once we have that if we hold this level and break out further from the channel over here, right? Then, yeah, we should continue creeping up. We should continue creeping up. 27 likes. No DGen trade today, unfortunately. What I was gonna do, real quickie for you here. Not a DGen, but you know what? Up to 1x. That's pretty DGen in my eyes. At the top. We're okay. Chat is dead. Everyone's excited. Go play with Bybit Pro. I'll leave you to it. Have fun. Have a good night. Have a good day. And I'll update you tomorrow. Houston, we don't have a problem. All the best, guys. All the best out there. Ramon, don't get me started on love. Don't get me started on love. I love all of my traders here. You guys rock. You guys freaking rock. Independent. And Ramon, especially for you, those levels, daily levels that you use in Discord, and now you're advising the indicator for people. Go get that indicator. You know, don't let us hold your hands. Get the indicator. Analyze, because there's something in there. And by the way, the Fibonacci retracement, another call by Ramon inside of the Platoon. It's been a long time coming. It's been a dream of mine to one day witness that kind of independence where everyone is helping each other and start treating these market analytics by other members that are part of the Platoon, because you have been well trained. You can literally trust each other now. You're a Platoon. It's in the name. Cheers, and I'll see you later. Wrong button. Wrong button.